When I was 15, I was in a charity shop in the UK. You might call them thrift stores, and I'm spinning around a book carousel. Suddenly, a self-help book called The Magic of Thinking Big caught my eye. The back cover promised a lot of things. It said that I would acquire the secrets of success, achieve everything I've always wanted, personal prosperity, financial security, power and influence, the ideal job, satisfying relationships, a rewarding and enjoyable life. I was all in because this was everything I wanted and more. The price was 50 pence, which is the equivalent of around 70 US cents, or 0.00018 Bitcoin. Talk about a return on investment. In fact, I still have my original copy and I love it so much I refer to it every single year. So in this video, I've distilled the most essential lessons from a book that's been instrumental in helping me have a very successful tech career, where I was making $500,000 a year at the age of 30 with no college degree, to now building a big coaching business that's recognized by all kinds of global media outlets and makes millions of dollars a year. But first, do me a favor and hit the like button so the YouTube algorithm knows to show this video to more people just like you. And hey, maybe Coco will get a little treat for every like that we get. David Joseph Schwartz, the author's words, opened up a whole new world of possibilities within me. Published in 1959, the language in this book was hilariously masculine, very American, and of its time, but it didn't bother me in the least. In fact, I found it rather charming. David said things like, aspire beyond material wealth, and also never skip a Sunday at church. Isn't that sweet? But my favorite bit was when he told me that if I wanted to attain true success, I would need to have a happy wife. And to appreciate my secretary too. I mean, what gems for a 15-year-old girl, right? But having grown up on welfare and living in domestic violence shelters with my sister and my mum as a kid, I had a pretty lousy money mentality. I thought money would always be tight in my life. I was brought up to believe that wealthy people were just lucky or even evil. I didn't even know how to seek out opportunities or that I could study the habits of successful people. This book opened a door within me that I didn't know existed. It's like a training program for the brain, and it sold over 6 million copies, making it one of the highest selling personal development books of all time. So here are the 6 core principles I've adopted from the magic of thinking big to make millions. The first is to develop the power of belief and make your mind produce positive thoughts. For decades, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, has examined how our thoughts create our emotions, and then how our emotions lead to our behavior. And then our behavior, it drives our entire life. So as I started to coach more and more clients early in my career, I realized that the whole change your thoughts, change your life thing is a lot easier said than done when we have thousands of thoughts a day. However, I felt there were 2 burning questions. Number 1, what drives our thoughts? It's our beliefs. And then secondly, how do you change your beliefs? And this has become the core of what I teach in my coaching membership, Self-Coaching Society. Your beliefs create your world. Things that happen externally out of our control are filtered by our belief system, which interprets and assigns meaning to these things. Almost like a worldview, these beliefs are a mental acceptance of a claim as likely being true, and they're shaped by all kinds of external forces. Friends, life experiences, family, education, social media, culture, where you live, politics, the news, and your own personal biases. Your beliefs then drive your thoughts, which create your emotions that lead to your behavior and results. When I wanted to become a life coach, I had 2 competing beliefs of my own. So to combat my fears, I created simple steps to make sense of my thoughts and feelings, using an exercise that I call the mind motor method to bring me clarity. I had a lot of fears about my vision of becoming a life coach and pinpointed the biggest unsupportive and negative one at the time, which was my belief that it's impossible to get clients. This belief led to thoughts like, it's hard out there. Is this a total waste of time? It would be so embarrassing if I had to go back and work for someone else because I couldn't make a living at this. Those thoughts would then drive emotions, and my emotions were fearful ones like dread, trepidation, apathy, sadness, and feelings of unworthiness. Then when it came to action, well, we act on how we feel. And well, if I felt that way, there'd be no action because the future with this belief is risky and bleak. So I'm just going to sit on my couch and eat Doritos. But what if I consciously upgraded and replaced the belief with something that could also be true? Being conscious and deliberate with a belief upgrade here is critical. What if the belief I nurtured instead was, people seek out passionate life coaches every day. It's a high growth industry. Then my thoughts would be, there are 8 billion people on planet Earth, and how many have problems? All of them. There's so much opportunity for me. And hey, I think I even know someone who can help me create a website. As for my emotions with that thinking, I would then feel energized, awake, determined, and hopeful. And my actions, well, I get busy yesterday. Do you see how a belief directly drives your actions and therefore creates your entire life experience? Quick side note, if you want to learn more about this method, I host a totally free workshop where I run through it in more detail. Head on over to becomeyourownlifecoach.com for more info. The link is also in the description so you can check it out later. The second core takeaway from the book is to use action to cure fear and build confidence. Everyone faces fear at some point. This includes showing confidence even when you don't feel like it. When you're a kid on a diving board, you don't want to be the one up there overthinking it. Action is the only thing that can be an antidote to your fear. Here's how I've taken action even when I'm scared. I'll reach out to someone I want to meet, even if I think they'll ignore my message. I'll pitch a media outlet that I think is out of my league. I've even said yes to speaking opportunities and live appearances even when I'm really nervous. A core component of doing this leads us to the third major takeaway from the book, which is to overcome your fear of other people. Fear of other people is a big one, but you have to put other people into perspective. I recall a few times I got to see the inner workings of successful people, and this made me a lot less nervous around them. When I was around 18, I was a babysitter for a famous primetime news anchor in Australia who was really sensitive about big reviews. I also worked for a really successful CEO who told me his mum always felt sad and he felt guilty about it, that he never went to college, even after selling 3 different companies for hundreds of millions of dollars. I've also coached some pretty big-time influencers who revealed to me that they're really scared to lose their following. They check their likes constantly and they live worried about being cancelled. When you see the behind the scenes, we realize we're all the same. There are only 2 core human fears, and all fears boil down into one of these 2 buckets. I don't have enough, and I am not enough. People are just people. They have the same fears, and they don't have to make you nervous. This leads us to the 4th big takeaway. Add value to things, to people, and to yourself. Money is created by providing value. We pay for value. I was hired as a salesperson in the tech world for over a decade because I added value by bringing in deals, a lot of deals. And as I mentioned, this resulted in me earning $500,000 a year by the time I was 30 years old. The key was that I'd make deals with clients that served their goals. And as a life coach, even when I started out at $100 an hour, I got a lot of renewals and referrals because I help people work through their problems. I help them think bigger and attract more of everything that they wanted to be, do, and have into their life. In the book, the author uses real estate as an example to this. He'd always say, how do you bring value to a house, for example? Look for ideas to make things worth more constantly. And when it comes to adding value to people, how can you help bring out the best in a person? Think about that. Can you visualize them at their best and help them see what they can be? Like the time I helped a friend overcome her nerves in launching her first book. As a fellow author, I reminded her that she is not her book sales, nor is she a ranking on a bestseller list. And it's so brave that she even just got this far. And the most important thing was just for her to do her best and let the outcome be the outcome. The action is the only part that we can control. And when it comes to adding value to yourself, ask yourself daily in the mirror, what can I do to make myself more valuable today? I like to think of ways that I can give more, uplift more, help people more by sharing better, upgraded, clearer thinking and beliefs. I love to look for areas to encourage people, to help them and support them. This then makes me more valuable as a content creator, a coach, and a human being. The fifth takeaway is to look important because it helps you think important. Okay. This isn't about burying yourself in debt or spending loads of money to look like you're being fake rich, okay? I even did this on a $28,000 per year salary in my first sales job as a recruiter. I had 2 tricks. I'd always wear a blazer and pearl earrings, both from H&M, and both $30 or less. In fact, these are from Primark, a UK store. You get 10 pairs for £1, which is at like $1.20. I remember RuPaul said, just wear a blazer, you'll be paid more. It's sad but true that we're judged on our appearance, and that's the truth. The Magic of Thinking Big says looking sharp helps you think sharp. And think about it, it's true, right? Because the pandemic and wearing pajamas every day certainly didn't bring out the best in me. But I noticed on days that I made an effort to dress nicely, my output and my energy were just better. You owe it to others, but most importantly to yourself, to look your best. The 6th and final takeaway is to become more likable by making yourself lighter to lift. I made another video on how to be really likable around new people, and that's worth checking out because this is such a critical skill I wish it were taught in school. After a certain point, it's clear whether or not a person can do their job. But what makes a person a leader and go further than others? It's the support of other people, and there's no avoiding this. In LinkedIn's 2019 Global Talent Trend Report, it showed that 92% of talented professionals and hiring managers say that soft skills are just as important or even more important than hard skills. And a Yahoo Finance article even said that soft skills are actually essential skills. And soft skills include communication, teamwork, relationship building, balance, and reliability. Are you a good communicator? Are you a great team player? Are you easy to have a great relationship with? Here are some Magic of Thinking Big hacks that will do a bit of rapid fire to close this video out. Remember people's names. And don't ever say, I'm bad with names. Come on, you're an adult. Just remember. Be easygoing and relaxed. You don't want to be someone whose feathers are always easily ruffled. Don't pretend to know it all. No one likes an ego. I love this one. Be interesting. Read up on different topics to add value to conversations. And also be interested in other people. It's flattering. This is important too. Get out the scratchy, sandpapery elements out of your personality that could be putting people off without you realizing it. And never miss an opportunity to congratulate or sincerely praise someone. These skills make you really easy to elevate. I'll never forget the time I worked with a really brilliant woman. She was smart, she was quick, she was so bright, but she carried her ego with her. She always knew better than everyone else. She had no idea that she was so abrasive and snappy until she worked with a coach who made her get peer feedback. I knew that her lack of soft skills really held her back until she became more aware. And you don't want to let that person be you. Thanks for checking out this video. Be sure to check out the other video that goes deeper on that final point, showing you how to be more likable around new people.